Crafty Belle tutorials. Applying iron-on decals to a satin robe. Materials that are needed to apply your decal to your robe are a cotton pillowcase or a cotton towel, parchment paper, a regular household iron, your robe, and your decal. You do not want to use an ironing board when applying your decal to fabric surfaces, as this prevents the necessary pressure to apply your decal. You want to set up your towel or your pillowcase on a hard surface such as a table or a floor. First, you want to iron your robe or the place that you're going to apply your decal on the appropriate setting. So for this particular satin robe, I ironed my entire robe and I wanted to ensure that I ironed the area on the satin silk setting. Next, I increased my temperature to somewhere between the wool and cotton setting. Because my iron tends to get really hot, I have it set to the wool, but irons might be different. So I would advise that you start off at a wool setting and increase your temperature as needed. You want to ensure that you center your decal. It really depends on where you want to place your decal on the robe. I'm going to place mine a little bit below, so about 4 or 5 inches below the neckline, the seam right here. Depending on what your needs are or how big your decal is, you can place it lower so that it's more centered to the back, anywhere. So I would advise that you try that robe on and have someone help you figure out where you would like to place your robe to make sure it's in the best place and you have the best look as possible. Next, you're ready to iron your decal. I have my iron, as I said before, set closer to the wool setting, but still somewhere between cotton and wool. You want to make sure that there is no steam or any water coming out of your iron, because this is going to prevent your decal from sticking very well to your fabric. I'm going to cover my decal with the parchment paper because my temperature is set to a higher setting, somewhere between wool and cotton. That typically may burn our material. So the parchment paper helps your fabric from burning. So I've already kind of have my decal where I want it to be. I'm going to cover it with the parchment paper, and I can either iron this in section, or if my iron is big enough, it can cover the whole thing. So we're not going to rub it back and forth. We're going to just set that iron down on there. I'm going to do it in 2 sections. Let's see, it's covering most of it. And I'm going to apply a lot of pressure. A pressure is where you really get your decal to stick. We're going to do that for about 15 seconds on each section. And then I'm going to move my iron over. Then I'm going to apply a lot more pressure to that. I'm going to check to make sure this has gone on there really well. And you want to make sure that this comes up really easy. So if any point your decal starts coming up on this clear backing, you just want to put that right back on there and just apply some more heat on there. So this is coming off really easy. Next, I am just going to put my parchment paper back on this, and I'm just going to go over it just a little bit more just to make sure that it's set in there really good. And there you have it, a beautiful silk satin robe. And this will work for just about any material. Thank you for watching Crafty Belle's tutorials.